Welcome to the Facial Recognition Comedy Podcast. This is Reem Edan.
I'm Pallavi.
Sorry, I wanted to be all sultry.
I know, it sounded so good. I got like prickles on my neck.
Yeah, it's like my Sunday morning voice.
Do you have a Sunday morning voice?
That was it.
That was
I like
it?
to just wake up sometimes, like maybe ask for pancakes, a little bit of syrup.
Can you drizzle it on there?
Can I just have like a dollop?
This is
Butter.
like trying to solve a serial murder podcast voice. So I went in and I asked for a little bit of syrup, and he looked me right in my eyes and told me he only had butter.
I love it. Oh my God. Fun, quick story to tell you. My friend and I were listening to murder podcasts in her car. She's white. And
Wait, what are you, Reem?
I'm Iraqi. So like I'm on the sliding scale of
She
beige.
light skinned?
She light skinned or am I light skinned?
You light skinned.
I feel like I'm pretty light skinned.
Yeah.
But she's like, let's listen to a murder podcast. She's a comedian too. But she, for the longest time, didn't realize she had accidentally been putting her podcast in double speeds. So she thought podcasts just came in fast forward mode.
That's so weird.
Isn't that amazing? So, but then she
Wow.
got used to it. And so like, for murder stories, it's actually great because like they talk so fucking slowly.
That's so funny.
Yeah, listen to it in double time. But she just thought that was the default.
I feel like there's a lot of things like that where you like don't know, like unless somebody experiences something personal with you, you like don't know that your experience is different than other people's.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know. Like I'm trying to think of something for me, but it always had to do with like words my parents said weird or something like that I never like said out loud or things.
Well, even like words that like your parents said weird that like you start using in real
Yeah.
life. It's annoying.
It's weird because I don't know if it's because they're brown or because they're just strange, or if it's like.
I think it's because they justify it in their own way. Like I have a joke about this, but my parents were convinced that humans had an organ called a golden bladder.
What?
Yeah, I was like, no, it's a gallbladder. They're like, no, it's a golden bladder.
God!
Yeah. But like,
what is
I
that
ran
mean?
around for a second and I was like, wow, shit, it's a golden bladder. And my dad had this whole like story behind it too, like a justification. He's like, they named this after the color of the liquid it secretes. It's a yellow gold. I was like, wow.
You're like, I thought golden shower when you said
Oh
that.
my God,
So
yes.
I was like, your parents kinky.
I wish we would like teach them those words and like not tell them what it really meant.
That's a lot of like comedians stand up, like immigrant children. They're like, my dad says this weird word.
yeah.
And then I never corrected him.
That's true.
Yeah.
I have a lot of those jokes. I think Russell Peters has like the Punani joke. I think that was like the ultimate one. Where have you heard that joke?
Yeah, so Russell's a friend of the facial recognition. He like hosted our show, but I also heard like Gina Yashir said that was her joke.
Oh, really?
And it was taken.
Oh.
And like there was this whole thing, like I don't know if it was like last year or like earlier this year, where he was like that was the only joke of hers that I took, but she's accusing me of all this other. It was crazy.
Oh, so he admitted
drama. I think so. There was like he talked to Trevor Noah about it, and then he talked to like Sway or some radio show, some like.
Like, Sway?
It's Sway in the morning.
Oh,
Do you know?
There's a different. My friend owns a platform called Sway.
What?
Like, oh, how do you know that?
Plug, promote us. This is what happens every time. We like name a brand and then we ask them to promote us.
Oh, that's awesome. Well,
It doesn't work ever because we've already
she's
promoted.
staying with me right now, so I won't go home and be like, promote us.
Yeah.
We'll go. That's it.
That's awesome. Okay, so you're a comedian. And you're fun and you do our show sometimes.
Yeah.
What's going on in your life right now?
So much and also nothing at all. I started college touring this year.
Woo!
So yeah.
Oh my
that was
God,
fun.
you're so perfect for that because you're so like high energy and fun and you like sing and
Thanks.
stuff.
Oh my God, yeah, dude, you
Set.
really do need to be high energy to do. At least like NACA and stuff. Have you done NACA?
No, I haven't.
It's like it's interesting because it's like this convention where you go and you like whore yourself out to college kids and you're like, look at me, like
You did a Disney voice.
bring me
Whoa,
to your
boy.
school. Yeah, and then you do your 10-minute set and then afterwards you have to like meet the students in a booth and like that part's like actually pretty key because you need to like, you know, talk to them and be personable and then have them want to bring you to their school and stuff. But you have to be like, I think that's my secret like weapon is I'm very high energy naturally. And so yeah, so I started doing that.
I feel like I'm high energy with people that I like, and then I was talking to my friend Harper, who's done the podcast, and there's like an energy I give off when I don't like someone. That's like very obvious.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
But like literally, people have hugged people in a row, come up to me, and then turn around.
That's amazing.
Because it's usually okay. Usually when I give off that energy, it's because either they're like accused of something, like sexual assault or something like that.
Yeah, like their reputation precedes
Yeah.
them.
or they did something shitty to like one of my friends.
Got it.
You know?
Oh, you're a good friend.
But sometimes I talked to Harper about this too. She's one of my closest friends in comedy. Sometimes she'll tell me of like shit that people did, but she's like in the moment and like upset about it.
Yeah.
So then I, without realizing, overreact and send out these like anger vibes that are not. It's just I've just learned this recently.
I am a social justice warrior.
Yeah. No, it's not even that. It's just I'll be like, don't touch me. Like in my, I give out that energy.
Oh, I love that. That's good because you're selective with your energy. That's one of the things you have to learn too. Is like,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can be nice to everyone, and you like should have like a baseline of like not mean.
Yeah, yeah.
But like you start to recognize that like people will suck your energy. Like
people are like there's like intentional energy suckers where they're like trying to use you or they're like mean or something, you know?
Yeah.
Or, you know, or they're abusers or whatever. And then there's like people who like do it on accident. Like people who like want to be your friend but aren't like
I've had to cut people out. Like
really?
There was like there was a few people where I was just like, this relationship is so much more draining than it is like adding value to my life, and I had to just like slowly like.
How were they draining? So like drama?
No, it wasn't even that. It was just like, you know, when somebody's like only talking about like their own life, but like, so it's not they're like dominant in the conversation, but like they're not actually listening to you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Where it's like they like.
What'd you say?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like they're waiting for you to get. It's that John Mulaney joke of like, you know, when in a conversation when you're waiting for them to shut up so you can speak.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that, and I was like, and there's also too like when you don't have that many personal like interests in common, and you're just like, yeah, like we're both people, and we were in the same this together or whatever.
Yeah.
You kind of like cut them.
Yeah, because you only have so much time, especially with like all the crazy shit we have to do. So then you have to like be very careful about like how much time you give out and like who you give it to, because you'll like resent them if you.
Yes, exactly. That's what started happening, and I was like, I just so.
Yeah.
Had to learn how to just snip them out.
Had to snip.
Just snip.
It's like arts and crafts, but for your relationship.
Yes.
I just had to glue myself to this toxic man and snip this bitch out.
Does anybody have popsicle sticks?
Does anyone have them? That's something that I'm learning. I'm also trying to learn to, because I feel like I met so many like weird, crazy people like the first year and a half of comedy, and
like
then
stand-ups or just people?
Yeah, like people who call themselves stand-ups.
Those ones.
Yeah,
I'm a comedian. Are you? Well, you know.
Yeah, I do. We're at projects. What projects? I don't really want to.
Super, NDA kind of stuff.
Yeah, or they're like, listen, you had an okay set or whatever, but here's some advice. Hold on, I'm like a road comic, and then they go up and they eat shit, and you're like, oh no.
That's the best. I love when people are like, let me tell you how to do your jokes, and then they just. It's like people love to give diet advice, and it usually comes from unhealthy people. Like that's my experience. Yeah, like
people who are like skinny but in the wrong way.
No, like people who are overweight who are like, that's not healthy, and I'm like, what? Like,
oh shit.
What? It's like because everybody's anti-crash diet and stuff like that, but like people like to be like, that's not healthy, like. No, what do you do? That's not what. That's weird. You know what I mean? But like, they're not the people to be like standing on a pedestal giving me diet advice.
Yeah, I don't think like really anybody should, other than your like doctor, nutritionist, or whatever, because people don't know. Like, diet is such a big part of like your happiness and your healthiness, and like such a big. I'm trying to like eat better, but it's like such a personal thing, like diet and exercise and all of that stuff. But I think everybody is like caught up in this craze of like, I'm living my best life.
Oh my God, yes.
I need you to live my best life.
Exactly. It's like a sounding board for themselves.
Yeah,
I've like dealt with like weight loss issues like my entire life. I used to be like a really fat kid, and I feel like I'm always like on a diet or off a diet. I'm either in weight loss mode or weight gain mode. It's the craziest.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's like the bane of my existence.
How much energy do you put into that?
It depends on if I'm in weight loss mode or weight gain mode. A lot, to be honest. Like, I feel like I've just been in like such cycles, and like I want to just be like a steady, like don't care about my weight, because I'm not like skinny obsessed or anything like that. It's just like I think as a fat kid, I'm much more inclined to gain weight easily. So I always have to be aware of it, and then I get into this like.
Do you like when you're gay? Okay, so I have this issue where I actually was a very skinny kid. So after I put on like some weight, I was like, what? Like I'm still like in denial about what I look like. I have like not
really?
body.
You're like skinny to me.
I remember we were in the green room, and I was like, I still am like over where I'm not in shape basically. And I was saying that, and then you and someone else was like, "Shut up, you're skinny," blah blah. And I was like, I can't even say shit.
It was so funny. I was like, "Oh, what? You have problems? Denied."
But I feel like it's different for everybody, right? Like I feel gross, basically.
Yeah.
But I was very skinny, and so now when I'm not, like when I don't have like at least visible abs, I feel disgusting.
That's such a wonderful statement. When I don't have abs,
it's not even like six pack, just like the lines or whatever. Because I used to be so skinny. So like to me in my head, I'm like, if you go over that, then you're not in shape.
Were you athletic as a kid?
I didn't do sports, but I danced a fuck ton.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, so that's like I was doing like 25 to 35 hours of dance a week.
Oh, wow.
Because it was like after school every day, and then this was like maybe sophomore year. It was like my peak because I was on drill team in school.
Oh, cool.
And then I was also taking dance classes. And then I went to undergrad, and I didn't do as much, but I still danced a little bit. And then I went to my master's, and like during my master's, at one point I was in physical therapy for a car accident I was in and dancing. Whoa. And I was just fucking ripped, dude. I was like, I weighed like what I weigh now, but I was like all muscle.
Oh, whoa.
And I wasn't eating sugar as much. I'd like have it in like drinks a little bit.
That's amazing.
But and then like Thanksgiving came around, and then I was just like fucked.
Dude, I will go on like cycles. I actually got my shit together for like 2 years. I just quit carbs for 2 years. I was like, you know what? I need to like figure out, because for me it's easier to just like cut shit out instead of like portion control and moderation. I can't do
this.
That.
This is what I wanted to talk to you about, because I swing to extremes, both in my right now, very much in my diet. Like I'm either eating complete trash or like healthy, and then like about to eat complete trash.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like that with, I think, like work and with like other stuff too. Is like I swing from, and even like empathy, I like swings from extremes where I'm like, I gotta work all the time. Or so how do you? That's like I think that is I identify with you in that being like the bane of my existence of like how to find balance.
Yeah, 100%. That was actually like I went to like a new moon manifestation ceremony. Like,
what does that mean?
It's still a lot to unpack here. It was basically like
a weather guy.
Intentions for, exactly, for like 2020, and the first thing that like came to my mind was alignment. Like, I mean, obviously it's like money and this and success and blah blah blah, but just alignment, because I want that balance. Like I feel like I have like pockets of things that I really like about my life, but I want to like balance them out and connect them all and just feel aligned, do you know?
So can you go into more detail?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, all right, like I'll do like good in stand-up, and I'll feel like, all right, that's on track, but then I can't at the same time have my diet on track. So I feel like I have such all these like qualities like dieting or whatever, and I want to like just I want to be one cohesive person. Yeah. But I feel like when one thing's off, everything's off. Like when my diet's off, then fucking everything's off.
Because you feel so bad physically.
Yeah, you feel horrible. Then you stop going to the gym because you're like, you feel too fat to go to the gym.
Yeah.
And then like you stop waking up early. And then you stop like meditating, and then you stop. And so it just all like I wanted to swing back to the right, you know.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
But do you think that like there's some part of you that's like, there has to be like some chaos in my life, or like
100%? I'm such a chaotic person.
Really?
Yeah. Like I think.
That's so funny. From the outside, you look like you have like, you're so happy and you have your shit together and you're high energy and you're beautiful and like.
Well, I am, but like, how do I chaos in a sense of like I like to. I don't even know how to describe this. Okay, it's like I like getting up early and I like meditating, going to the gym and stuff like that. Like that's my ideal life. But at the same time, I love random shit and being like, fuck the whole template. We're doing like. We're going to Vegas, or we're going to whatever it is. So.
Yeah, I think, consistency is the hardest thing. And that's what makes you successful at everything.
Yeah, exactly, yes.
So it's like...
That's the word I was looking for, yeah.
Yeah, that I completely identify with this. This is like, what's scaring me about like setting goals is like, I know I can do one random thing. I know I can make one YouTube video. Like I can do this thing. I can do that thing. I can book this crazy, awesome set at this one show.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I could do it consistently. Because consistency is my biggest.
So how do we
issue.
Do consistently then? Like what do we do?
I don't know. Fucking calendars don't help me.
No.
Like writing like to-do lists. If I put everything down in a to-do list, they help me. But they're not. It's not about consistency. It's like random tasks that I have to do.
My favorite thing is to like get like accountability buddies, and then like once I like fall off, to just ignore them.
Yes. And then you're like it's like an addict. You're just like I didn't even want this anyways.
Exactly.
Like leave me alone.
Like, hey, will you be like my accountability buddy? Great. And then like 3 days later, I'm like, I'm just gonna block you. Like, I don't want to talk anymore. Let's not talk about this anymore.
Has anyone like ever not given up on you?
No, because people think I have my shit together.
Ooh,
You know what I mean? Like,
you fooled them.
Yeah, I feel like
This is like smart people who are depressed.
Yes.
Like they can really trick people out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I mean, in a sense, I do. Like, and there's pockets of my life where I do have my shit together, and I feel like even these like struggles are just like from a personal level of like wanting more, like wanting to hit that goal.
Yeah.
So, but have I had anyone give up on me? No, but my doctor. I was like doing this like weight loss program with the doctor, and I just kept like doing really, really good, and then I would travel, and then it would like I'd fall off, and then I'd go back on the program. And then at one point, he was like, "Are you like trying to gain weight or?" What
Oh shit!
I was like,
what the fuck?
He's my
that
friend.
seems like
No,
not
no,
a
he's
good.
my friend.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
I was like,
He's
that
a really
seems
good
like
friend.
not
But I was
professional.
like, I talked about it in my stand-up. I was like, "So my doctor thinks I'm gaining weight on purpose."
That's wild. Yeah, I think sometimes I like mentally I just give up and I'm like I need to comfort myself, and so I buy all this shitty food and eat it at night, or like I use it to like stay up because I have really bad sleep issues. But like it's a thing of like I can't handle this. I deserve it. Like and it's so like cliche. To do that, but I don't know.
I saw this. I saw a meme, and it said, "Eating junk food is not." Well, never mind. I can't remember the meme, but it was basically saying like, "Oh yeah, eating like shitty food is not a reward; it's the punishment."
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh, that's interesting."
My therapist was like, what is she said something about how like everything is a reaction to something. All of these bad habits are a reaction.
That makes
and
sense.
so then I would still buy the fucking candy, but as I was reaching for it I would be like, this is a reaction. It didn't, being aware didn't help
you
me.
acknowledge it like
I'm
I
like,
see you, I feel
you.
the
pain and I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah.
Like
I anticipate the diarrhea and I'm there for you.
I'm fine for it. Yeah.
I love that shit.
That's like, it's wild. I've just been eating like more salads lately.
Oh, that's good.
And my stomach's been feeling better. And I'm like, is this how people do more? Like,
I don't know, but I think I'm going to try going vegetarian or vegan, not vegan. In
Vegan's
January.
hard.
Yeah, vegan.
I'm vegetarian.
Okay, I'm going to try to go vegetarian in January and see.
Nice.
Because I watched that like documentary on Netflix.
Yeah. I think I've seen some
like plant-based something.
Yeah. I was on Twitter today being like really annoying to people because they were talking about like how cancer can be cured through like veggies and juices and not like radiology. That's not true.
Oh.
I don't think it's true, right?
I've read The Secret and that's what it says.
Oh God. Oh yeah, you're more spiritual than I am.
I'm super spiritual.
Yeah. No, but it's not.
Like, am I wearing
like
my crystal? No.
Oh God. But it's not like that's the problem I have with all the spiritual stuff is like it persuades people away from medicine that actually like helps them.
100%.
Like eating. So drinking alcohol is like linearly associated with cancer. So obviously, if you have a better diet, you're gonna be healthier and you're gonna be less likely to get cancer, probably.
Yeah.
Based on depending on the person, the genetics, everything. But like once you have cancer, fucking Steve Jobs just drank juices to get rid of his pancreatic cancer, and he did.
Well, pancreatic cancer has like a very small survival rate.
Yeah, but it's like he didn't even try.
Well,
he had access. He had all of the money in the world.
Yeah.
Like he, like, you know what I mean? Like he's anecdotal, but the point is like you have to try actual. I understand that there's like skepticism and stuff because like people have been fucked over by doctors and whatever.
Yeah.
But like do the plant thing, but also like go to a doctor.
No, I agree. Yeah. And I'm very much of that mindset too. And I'm weirdly very well versed in this kind of stuff because the doctor friend, I like do his social media for him.
Oh,
so,
really?
Like, so I know a lot about this stuff, and he's a naturopathic doctor, and so and he does integrative medicine. But so I think that there is a place for both. Like I think that when conventional Western medicine is necessary, then absolutely use it. But like if you can do whatever you can naturally to heal yourself, then you should try that first, and then like.
See, that I don't think you should try it first because that's how cancer progresses. Like if it doesn't do shit.
But I've read studies too where like, well, I've read studies both on like going vegan when like people find out they have cancer and like meditating and like only like a lot of things to just bring positivity in their life and like kind of flush out their system and that helping them.
I'm sure it helps.
I've read case studies though on that. Like not like The Secret. Like I've read case studies on it for that. And then also too, there's this, I used to work for this company that does it's called the fasting mimicking diet. Have you heard of it?
No.
So it's basically this like program and it's 5 days of plant-based food. And it's in like the right macros for your body basically doesn't detect that you're eating anything. Like it's like soup packets and like olives and nut bar and stuff. And it's like very medically backed. It's out of USC. It's incredible. So anyways, this guy's been doing, his name is Professor Walter Longo. He's been doing these studies on fasting and how much that can like
That definitely, there are studies that show that if you eat within a 10 to 12 hour period, that does affect like how much weight you gain and all of that stuff.
Well, yeah, that's intermittent fasting. Yeah. But then there's prolonged fasting, which is like fasting for 5 days or 3 to 5 days.
What
like
does that
quarterly
do?
or monthly. So basically, it stimulates this process called autophagy. We're about to get very scientific. So autophagy is this process that like stimulates cellular renewal. So it like works with like your stem cells and stuff. I love that I'm telling this to like a PhD because I'm like,
I'm not a PhD.
Oh yeah, well almost.
Nope.
So basically, what it does is it like renews your body. Like when it doesn't have food coming in, it like shuts down and starts like recycling cells. That's what autophagy is. Is your body's like recycling and renewing its cells. And so there's studies in mice done where cancer, diabetes, a bunch of things have been reversed because of prolonged periods of fasting. So that's an instance where I'm like, how interesting that you can like help yourself naturally.
Yeah.
They can't say it in humans just yet, but in mice, like there are confirmed studies I've had to read like
And
long
it
ass
reverses
scientific
it
papers.
entirely?
Yeah, it's crazy.
What types of cancers?
I'm not sure, but you can look it up.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
I will.
But yeah, diabetes, like it's also what else did it like brings on like your cholesterol and like your what is it called, IGF, growth factors or something like that. Yeah, lots of stuff.
That's interesting. I like that you read all these studies.
I used to, so like I'm a comedian, obviously, and then I used to be a marketer, and so I copyright and stuff on the side, and so I was copywriting for them. So I had to read a bunch of shit on like
That's dope.
everything in that world, and read the studies. And
I'm
stuff.
just like super hesitant about I agree that like there are like natural things that you can. That's the problem. I hate when they say natural, right? I hate
like,
when they use that as a term because like all of this stuff in like pills like it's regulated,
yes,
right? And then people think that like if you just like eat a plant like that's natural or whatever. But like there are plenty of natural things that are bad for you and plenty of not natural things that are good for you, like vaccines and shit, right? Like, so that's why I hate when they like when we use that word because it just feels like inconsistent.
Yeah, I agree.
Back to consistency.
Yes. But then it goes back to what we were saying earlier: is balance, like balancing like the Western and the Eastern philosophies.
Yeah, which is why I think that you should definitely like. I encourage people like go get checked and like do all of the like Western like keep it like knowing what the fuck is in there and like keeping track of the growth and like all of that stuff. But I also like and I've seen so many cases where people have like let the cancer grow because they were like I'm gonna try Eastern or like you know I'm gonna try like a cleanse or like whatever and it's like this is like
who's trying to cleanse away their cancer?
Fucking Steve Jobs. But like yeah like he's I'm pretty sure I'll like double check it but. He didn't address it like through Western medicine. That's why he died. But so I just feel like you have to like pay attention. Like most people aren't reading the studies you're reading. Most people are like think some like holistic healer is gonna like say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
put a crystal on it and pray.
Reiki.
Reiki's interesting.
Are you trained Reiki?
I'm not trained.
Oh, okay.
No.
I know another comic who is.
Who is?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Zara Mizrahi.
Oh, she is?
I think so. I saw on her Instagram a while ago.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
No, but I go to a lot of meditation shit. I
have trouble meditating.
Why?
I think I haven't tried hard enough.
You don't have to try. That's the thing. Like even if you just sit there for a minute or two and you're like, I'm not doing this right, you're doing it right. Like there's no right or wrong way to do it because even if you, like at the end of the day you get like a second of meditation or like calming the mind, then you've done it right. That's the thing. I feel like there's like this misconception that like meditating is like being able to sit down for an hour and like have no thoughts. Like I've been meditating for several years, and it's one of the reasons I'm a comedian, to be honest, is because my life right before I started comedy, like my life fell apart, and I was like, what is my fucking purpose and all these things. And I don't want to say like meditation was like the one-stop shop cure, but it was definitely something that like helped me just like calm the fuck down, like and start to like discover things about myself even just in silence. And I think that's the cool part about meditation. It's not like being able to like transcend and like go away for however long. You know, it's still a process.
Yeah.
Even I, after years of meditating, will still, you know, find myself thinking and be like, oh, back to normal. And you know what I mean? It's just,
that makes me feel a lot better because I have always been told that like you're not like it feels like you're not meditating until you clear your mind. So it's
but
nice
I feel like meditation too, they say, is like it's not something to attain. Like when you're going after enlightenment or going after like consciousness and stuff, like that's against the whole point of
consistency.
Going after. Yeah, well, I just think it's less of like a destination and more of the journey.
Yeah.
So it's more of just like, you know, intentionally spending time calming down.
So like when we're on the toilet, we should be off our phones.
Yes, 100%. I posted a meme once where I was like if, like, remember when, like, Russian hackers were hacking into cell phones and stuff like that?
I feel like they still are,
Yeah.
but whatever.
Remember back in the day?
Catch me on TikTok.
I was like, let them hack my phone.
Yeah.
All they'll see is, like, an unflattering angle of me on the toilet, just, like, looking down at my phone.
Yeah, I felt that way too. I'm like, I also have that attitude.
Yeah,
I was like, what the fuck are they gonna do with this?
Oh my god, do you still have a day job?
No, so I quit my PhD.
Woo! Congrats.
Thank you.
How does it feel?
It feels weird. I do miss, like, I'm tutoring now. So I was teaching this girl how to code, and it was super fun. And then I had to teach this, like, writing class, and, like, the kids were all distracted, and I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And I, like, missed research in that moment. But I've also, like, started working out and, like, eating better.
Yeah.
And, like, sleeping.
So why'd you
and, like,
quit?
Healing. It was, like, really intense, and I wasn't making my advisors happy. And
Let me pause you. Why'd you start?
Oh, because I started comedy and my PhD at the same time.
Okay.
So I wanted to start my PhD because I was working in labs and I was doing more, like, wet lab work, like working with like things. At the time I was working with, like, viruses and bacterial growth and, like, all of this other stuff. And then I wanted to move into, like, a computational area of research. So that's what I did. I, like, went in and I, like, took these classes and I, like, I did computational neuroscience and I gained all these skills. But then in the process I was also doing comedy, and then my passions shifted, and it was really hard for me to come to terms with the fact that I had changed from, like, what I wanted in my childhood wasn't what I wanted now. And that was really hard because it was, like, the longest relationship I've ever had has been with science.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But that's also, like I'm happy for you that, like, it's definitely a transitional period. And it's interesting, too, because comedy is such an unknown, and it's such a, like, it's more of an uphill battle to, like, convince your parents and your friends, and, like, to, like, convince society that, like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, even though there's no
it doesn't
linear
make
path.
sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. That's interesting because, like, I definitely had a lot of guilt. I think what it is too is it's around, like, time wasted. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like, I spent so much time, like you said, the longest relationship you had was with science. For me too, it was like I was always a straight A kid. I was, like, gonna go to Harvard. Like, my whole life was, like, set on, like, going to, like, an Ivy League school and whatever. And then once I graduated, I got into Harvard, but I didn't get off the wait list. So I ended up going to a school in Colorado, and then University of Denver. Woohoo! I hate you. Just kidding. Just kidding.
She went, woohoo, I hate you.
I hate you.
That summarizes every relationship I've ever
part,
had.
Yeah. They called me to ask for money when I was at NACA, making money off other colleges.
That's
like,
so funny. You're like, fly me
weird.
in, bitch.
Yeah, but I think so. So when I ended up graduating, like, when I said I was a marketer, like, I used to work in entertainment marketing, like, for movie studios. So, like, I worked at Disney and I worked at Paramount, and then a company called STX, and I started stand up almost 4 years ago, three and a half years ago. So it was, like, at the last studio, and it just was so hard for me to be like, I've put so much time and effort into this, like, movie marketing path. Like, I had, like, internships in college and, like, consistently was working towards it and, like, networking and doing this and this and this and that, and then, like, to shift paths, I just felt like
what
was
is
it a sunken cost?
I was just gonna say sunken cost theory.
Yeah. So that was hard, but then I realized if you can, like, flip it to realize that, like, you are the comedian you are because of that path.
Yeah.
And you had that gig in San Francisco too, right? Where, like, they where you were, like, the face of the science thing or whatever.
Oh, I've had a couple, like, science communication, like,
and
panels, and, like,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's what you uniquely bring, you know, to stand up is, like, that knowledge and that education, and even, like, your thought, like, process and patterns are from probably a very scientific.
Yeah. And I also think about how, like, I wouldn't be able to like, I wouldn't have been able to, like, handle stand up at a younger age. I feel like I wasn't, like, emotionally like, aware. Like, I feel like there would have been a lot more. All the damage that was done in my first year, I feel like would have been 10 times more. All of the emotional trauma.
How old were you when you started?
It was 3 years ago. It was 3.5 years ago.
Nice.
So it was like 26, 27.
Are you born in 90?
No, 89.
89.
Yeah.
Okay. We're, like, the same age. But yeah, so, like, once I realized this is the cool thing, like, at first I was like, oh, damn, I, like, spent all this, like, time and effort and energy and whatever on this, like suit path, and then I went over to being, like, the creative path, and then suddenly I was like, wait, it all makes sense now. I, like, was able to skip so many years of, like, you know, comedy because I already knew how the whole entertainment process worked. I knew what, like, reps were. I knew, like, people in every facet of the industry, and I knew
you developed connections, and you had like
that I didn't need at the time,
and you had the like not I don't want to say soft skill set, but like the background skill set that a lot of comedians don't have, like the organization
and the marketing.
And, yeah.
I mean, that's another thing I talk about too. Is like one reason that I think I've done pretty well, like in such a small amount of time, is like I know how to market myself. I know how to like do these things that I've learned in those jobs and in that industry. So like I am grateful for that, and it's like I was thinking about it too. Like there are little moments that you have to like. Oh shit! There's a phone call.
Yeah.
There's moments where you have to like understand like the necessity of like the hardship.
Yeah.
For you to be on this separate path, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
you had one path, and like that there was a fork in the road, and now you're on the other path. But like you had to have had that to be here.
Yeah, you wouldn't be you. You wouldn't have your voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for whatever that's worth.
Yeah. I don't know. That's I feel like that's how I feel about you, is that you're like so positive and stuff, that it's interesting to like see the rough patches in you because you're so like optimistic about everything. It feels like.
Thanks. I'm pretty optimistic.
What happened sorry, what? Okay. Can we do that in a little bit? We'll call her at the end if that's okay.
I was like, we have callers calling in? Like people are watching this?
Not live. But we so it's like I was gonna ask what happened before, like when it was before your big meditation thing.
Oh, it was being on that path. Like I was like working in this like Hollywood glamorous like studio life. I used to work in publicity too, so like my job was like on the red carpet at like Marvel premieres and like this premieres and whatever. And then I went to this newer company, and I just was like so stagnant. And like I said, like mind you, I've been like a straight A student. I've been like always the top of whatever I want to do, because like I was convinced that like my path was to be like the best and like be this and like be like on the Forbes 30 under 30 and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I have one more year for that. But
bitch, I'm 30. It's fine.
But so,
I'm sure
like,
some of those people are pedophiles.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Silver lining. So yeah, I just felt like stuck. Like I wasn't progressing. Like I wasn't able to like climb the ladder at that company. And at the same time, I was like, do I even want to do this? Like,
yeah.
And I felt like I was like heartbroken in a sense, because like I would go to these premieres and stuff, and my life looked so flashy and fun and stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like 20 feet from stardom, and I was like, watching people, like watching people like live the dream that I always had. Because when I moved to LA too, I was like, I'm gonna be an actress. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And none of that happened. And instead, I just got to like go to these movie premieres and like watch other people do it. And I was like, I think I'm funny. I'm funnier than them. Like, why are they there? So, like, I kind of just snapped in that sense, where I just felt lost. And interestingly enough, remember I told you, like, there was a 2-year period or 3-year period where, like, I just quit eating carbs. I was so healthy. I was, like, working out. It was, like, I finally, for the first time in my life, was, like, I've got it. It's consistent. This is my new life. This is great. And then when that, like, when my, whatever, like, my career fell apart, when I was, like, what am I doing with my life? Then I started binge eating again. And I'm, like, still coming off of that. Like, I just gave up on everything. And so...
That's like comedy can be so hard on you, just in what you eat and what you drink and like all of those things.
Yeah.
Because you're surrounded by it, and also there's like, I think people like don't encourage it in each other as much.
Yeah.
I think people like tend to encourage like, or like let you like live your truth or whatever, and it can be like just very negative.
100%.
Yeah.
So at the same time, it was like my dark night of the soul. I like felt so purposeless. I remember I was driving around LA. Eating, like I was just like eating food for no reason, because I was like just
I do that when I'm like bored or like sad or something. I don't know.
And I like called my sister. I was like freaking out, and what was crazy, and I feel like it's so metaphoric, but like I was driving around in circles with like nowhere to go. Like I just was driving around LA, and I called my sister, and I was like freaking out, crying, and she's like, what's wrong? And I was like, I just like don't know what to do with myself. Like I just don't, what do I do with myself? And she's like, okay, pull over, you're being weird. Go find a yoga class. I hate yoga, but I went on my class pass at the time, and I found a meditation studio at the Den, which I fucking love. And then I just like literally went straight there and just like meditated. And it was a weird class too. It was like a very specific kind of meditation that I was like, what is it? I think it's called Qigong or something. But I just remember like feeling at like peace for like 5 minutes. I think it was like a 45-minute class. And like for 5 minutes, I was just like, okay. And then like, went back out, and then like
the world came back.
The world came back. But then I started going there more and more, and it was like such a like salvation, like just to walk into a room and then like calm down. And it was like through meditation and like going to these classes that I was able to just like, I don't know, like still my soul, I guess. I mean, that sounds weird, but like just like calm down enough to where I realized like, okay, well, what's going to make me happy? Because I think that was the shamble of like this Hollywood life fell apart. And I was like, where's the happiness? Like, it's fun, but like, where's the happiness?
Yeah.
And so I just decided, I was like, I'm going to go do an open mic. Like, I've always said I was going to do it. I said I was going to do it in college. I'm just like, you know, like I've always been the funny person, the funny friend in the friend group. So like, I'm just going to go to an open mic because maybe that'll make me happy.
Yeah.
And then I like set myself a deadline. It was like a month later. And then I went to that open mic and then like literally my life changed. I actually met Zara that night.
Oh,
she
really?
was at my first open mic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, so like meditation and stand up came to me at the same time.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. That was so, like, I hadn't heard your whole backstory.
Yeah.
So it's wild.
Silly.
How do you think you're going to, we'll talk for a little bit and then we'll call Fizz. But how do you think you're going to, 2020, how are we going to fix this binge eating extreme? And I say we because I need help.
Yeah, how are we going to do it? I don't know.
Accountability partner that's going to block me on Instagram.
We're not gonna, Who's calling? Never mind. I don't know. Should we set one goal? Should we set? This is the thing. Someone was like, "Stop doing New Year, New Me."
Yeah,
whatever.
I think it's like, so the way, something that I've realized is that like shame and guilt really paralyze you and give you a lot of anxiety and are actually like much more negative for you. And I like when I told my parents I wanted to be a comedian, when I've been more open about other aspects of my life, like a lot of that has lifted, and that makes me not eat poorly or like, you know what I mean? Like when that weight is lifted. And so like I've done this for a while where I'm like, okay, like I ate like shit last night, but today is a new choice. It's like everything is like a new start. My name actually means new leaf.
Oh my God, I love that.
Because I'm always trying new shit. It's fucking, I don't know.
That's great.
But yeah, so I'm always like, it's okay. Like you can start now. Like you don't have to feel shame and guilt about other stuff because I tend to spiral into it. So I don't know about specific goal setting. But I do want to be able to achieve that at some point. I want to be able to set specific goals and like achieve them.
You know what I think it is? I think we just need to establish routine because every time that I get back on track, it's when I have a routine established. And it's like if I can just go to the gym 3 times in 1 week, like if I can set the habit, because once you do it 3 times, it's set. And then
it doesn't you don't have to tell yourself like these specific days.
Yeah.
Because whenever I make it harder for myself, I don't do it.
Yeah, 100%.
Like whenever I'm like, you have to do it in this way and this time and like whatever, then I just like fucking spiral and paralyze.
Agree.
Yeah.
But I think like. Yeah, just maybe like setting 1 week, maybe set our goals a week at a time. How about that?
That sounds good.
Like we'll just this week, however it's gonna happen, I'll do my X amount of workouts. Because I promise, once we get in the routine, once you do it 3 times, like what do they say? It takes 21 days to form a habit, right?
I was literally talking to someone else about this, maybe on this podcast. I don't know, but that like literally,
Someone.
I don't know, deja vu.
Crowd work? Who knows?
Crowd work. That's how I set my mantra. I'm like, oh my God, and where do you work? Engineer? I'm gonna do it.
I love it. Exactly.
That's so funny. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna maybe we can post updates.
Yeah,
of
we'll
our
publicly do it.
consistency.
Yeah. Well, how about this? Like next time I'm on your podcast, I'll have lost 30 pounds. I'm just kidding.
No,
it's not about losing weight. I just want to get to I get my shit together. That's it. I just want to get it together.
Get my shit together.
Just feel like
2020.
Yeah.
Fucking just let me get my shit together.
Like I have a friend. You know what it is? I have a friend, and she's just like so herself. Like she knows exactly what she likes to eat. She knows exactly like what kind of like events she likes to go to, and like she doesn't deviate from that. She's like, and she's still very positive and fun and whatever. She's not a comedian, but she's like,
she's positive and fun, so we know she's not a comedian.
She has a soul. But she's just like, yeah, like this is what I like to do. This is how I like to be. These are the things I like to go to the gym, and so I will go to the gym. And I'm like, oh, but she's so confident and like it just becomes her truth. And I think when that happens, and it's less about like putting yourself like through these fucking hoops, it's just about like, oh, that's who I am. And even when I had my shit together for those 2 years, it was like I wouldn't think about it anymore. And that's why it was so easy for me to just cut shit out, because I was like, okay, cool, I've cut it out. I don't miss it anymore because like now this is who I am, and so I don't think about it anymore. So like the more we can just get that to be who you are.
I think that's how I am with people when I'm with the icy vibes that I send people. I'm just like, I don't want to be around you.
No, that's funny.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, let's call Fizz because I think she called all of us.
Huh. Oh, did she?
I think so. I thought I saw someone on your phone ringing. Yep.
You did. She did.
She called all of us. Wild. Okay. Are you putting her on the thing?
Yeah, we need your headphones on.
Oh, we need our headphones to hear her.
Oh, we do.
How many minutes are we?
Hello?
Yo.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
We were in the middle of an intense conversation, so we were like, let's wrap this up first.
We're talking about weight loss.
I'm glad. I'm glad because I just went through some intense shit.
Oh, what happened?
So, I mean, I'll just skip to the end. I walked in my room and there was nothing in it. Like, my bed is like fucking, there were some plumbing issues. So they were going to go in the walls and do some stuff, but I didn't think they were going to move my fucking bed. I just came home from a 2-week trip. I haven't been home in 2 weeks, so I was like dying to sleep in my bed.
Oh, no.
Oh, so they moved your personal items in your room?
Oh yeah, and I didn't even clean my room because like I was like, I'll come home, I'll move all my shit. Like it was piles of clothes, piles of dirty clothes, just thrown. And it's I'm like trying to, I scream, cried, and took a shower, and I made up curse words, and now I'm like, you know what? What's the positive? I need new pillows anyway. I'm on Amazon.
Dude.
Wait, what curse words did you make up?
I don't fucking know. It's just, I don't even know if they were in English. I think I might have been like cursing in tongues. It's been a while. And then also like, okay, so I've been gone for 2 weeks. I spent the last week with my family, ground zero of my trauma. No offense to any of them. I love them to death, but that's just how it is. Look at me. I'm just like, oh my God, are they listening? I'm like paranoid now.
They're not that supportive, don't worry.
Right now, I haven't had therapy in 2 weeks. I'm not having it for another week. I'm like trying to figure out finance. It's just like, it's insane. Like on the way to the airport, my dad decides that's the time to have, a heart-to-heart talk.
About what?
About like 7 things.
7 things.
My dad does that on the way to the airport too. He's like,
yeah.
talk
So
about
I'm
your
like,
finances.
I'm already a raw nerve. So,
And then they took your bed.
That's crazy. I thought you meant that you got
yeah,
robbed.
Yeah, I thought you got robbed too.
I love my bed more than Drake loves his bed. Like, this was devastating. Like, I was shocked. I'm not going to say it was devastating, but I was truly shocked.
Damn. Can you put your bed back down now?
Well, they're going to, so now the thing is, the insurance company says they can replace the whole carpet in the room. So that's why they had to move all the shit out. I just didn't think it would happen when I'm not here.
Yeah. So, but I mean, like tonight, are you going to be able to get rest?
I'll figure it out.
It's a good time to call all your exes.
Yeah.
Anyone with a king size bed.
Oh God, I know. I think I'm gonna put up a story of like, this is post like scream, cry, cursing in tongues, but like before I took a shower, of like me walking in my room, so you can sort of see like the defeat in my face.
Oh no.
Content.
But what I will say is, now that you're in the market for pillows, I got these great gel pillows on Amazon, and I really recommend them.
Oh, I like those.
They're amazing.
I think.
Well,
I
girl,
think
wait, I'm on it right now. What is this?
They're called gel pillows. They're the best pillows I've ever had.
This bitch is in marketing.
Actually, they were my birthday present for my sister because she had the same pillows.
I think. Wait, look them up. I might have the same ones, and they might have been a birthday present from my ex.
Oh, I love it.
If they're the same ones.
Wait, pillow. There's like a couple different gel pillows. Is it like a thing?
I think it's like it's
it's
a
like
style.
A type of pillow?
It's a type of pillow.
It's a type of pillow. I'm sure you can get it from somewhere else, but the Amazon one was delicious.
All right. Okay, look, I'm excited now. Maybe this shit'll come in the mail tomorrow.
Yes.
New year, new you, new bedroom.
Oh, I found it. It's called the Beckham. Oh, okay. Hold on.
Oh, I had different ones. I don't
No,
think
that was the ad. Hold on.
Oh.
But this is it. It's just a gel pillow.
I think mine are gel pillows, but I don't think they're the same. I don't know.
It's this one. They're so good.
Oh,
maybe not. I don't
so
know.
sorry, we were talking about pillows, but I was like, so like when I came home, I didn't even take like an Uber. I took the Flyaway, which is really, I don't know if I should tell everyone how good it is.
I love the Flyaway.
I've never
always
taken
use
it.
the
I want
Flyaway.
to.
It's $10 for me to get from LAX to Union Station, and it's one stop, and then I walk home.
Oh,
it's $10.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's $9.75.
$8. $8
Oh,
to
I'm gonna do
Hollywood
it.
from LAX.
Because LAX is a shit show with this
And
Uber
it's
Lyft
right
thing
outside. I actually liked, this is fucked up, but I always take the flyaway, so I liked when they moved the Ubers out because the flyaway is now slightly closer for me.
Oh, that's
Oh
good.
my
That's
God,
good.
you're right.
Yep.
You're right. It's so much. It's so good. It's so good. Like the line for the Uber shuttle was like so long, and they had to like check in. It looked like a nightmare.
Don't get me wrong, I've sometimes waited a long time because they like were packed or so, you know, so sometimes I've been like fucked and like landed like right after one left and had to
Oh,
wait an
yeah.
hour or whatever. But then it's like it's direct, so I don't know.
I'm down. There's
But
one in
I think
Hollywood,
for the
right?
There's
holidays, they have
Hollywood,
them coming.
Van
for the-
Nuys, Union Station. Yeah, there's a bunch of them for
Fuck yeah.
holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've wasted
So
a
then I
lot
was
of
just
money.
like, I was on a saving money kick. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna take a lift home from this fucking flyaway shit. I'm just gonna walk because I was in Hollywood. So like, I walked, and that's like, it's like a mile and a half with a suitcase and a bag. And I mean, you know that.
Yeah,
car,
I'd be
so
walking.
I'll be walking.
But it's like I haven't done it with a suitcase, and it's like
Yeah, that's
after
a lot.
just the fucking, I'm just. It wasn't the day to walk into my room and not see my bed there, and then see it in the other room, like looking like it's dead. It's on its side.
Oh,
Poor
that's
dead
scary.
bed.
Poor dead bed.
Do you did your mom like pack your suitcase with stuff? Was it extra heavy?
No, because we went to New York first, so I didn't have any room because of all the fucking attempted winter clothes.
Wait,
We
your
were
mom
just
packs your suitcase?
No, I just meant, you know how like brown moms like send stuff with you?
Oh,
I was like
hold
wondering
on.
if it was stuffed.
My immigrant mom
She
doesn't pack my
tried.
suitcase.
Oh, they tried, but I don't like checking bags. I
I
hate
hate it
waiting for
too.
bags.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if it didn't fit, then I was like, well,
Yeah, I'm like that too.
I'm trying to get rid of shit anyway.
New
I
year,
mean,
new
if
you.
anything, this is gonna, now it's all in my face, so I have to get rid of shit.
It
All
could
the
be a
stuff
really
that
good
was under my
opportunity
bed.
to like cleanse your stuff, especially going into the new year. To be honest,
Yeah.
I moved apartments this year, just because I was like traveling so much. I was like, I don't need my apartment anymore, so I
Was
moved
it
in
too
with my
big?
sister.
Oh, you moved in with your sister?
Yeah, we used to. Yeah, so it's like, but I got rid of so much stuff. Like I just like Marie Kondoed my life. Which,
That's
by the
what-
way, I
yeah.
want my name to be a verb. Like I want someone to be like, I reamed my something. Like I Marie
reamed?
Kondoed.
You want it to just be the first name? I reamed.
Well, I guess it is a verb already.
But I mean, like, do you want it to be like Reem Edan, or do you want it to be like reamed? Or Edan?
Reem Edan.
Reem Edan.
We'll just leave it at reamed.
Okay.
But like I got rid of so much stuff and I was so happy for it.
We're gonna say that I reamed means I was consistent.
Oh my
That's
God,
gonna be a new
beautiful.
thing.
That's fucking poetic.
Yeah.
I reamed.
I'm gonna be like, I reamed my workouts this week.
I reamed 3 times this week. Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's what it's gonna be.
I love it.
I used to move at least once a year, and now I'm in the place where I've been for 3.5 years, which is the longest I've ever been in one like apartment
Oh, wow.
or one like room. And so I haven't accumulated because I've been careful because I live in a tiny room, but I also used to love moving because it would force me to throw shit out.
Mm-hmm. I went to Goodwill like 15 times in a row. I was just like, I
Wow.
got rid of everything. I sold all my furniture and I was like, I don't want stuff anymore, which is
Yeah.
weird because I feel like for so much of your life, you're like, I need to accumulate. Like, I need to buy myself things. And I just don't want things anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I have nothing. I have a couple pillows, gel pillows from Amazon. That's it.
There's so many gel pillow options. I don't even know where to
Yeah.
start.
I even like sold my bed. I had like an IKEA wooden bed and I was like, I don't even want this anymore. And I just bought myself a new, very lightweight bed from Amazon. I was like, anything lightweight and small, good. Everything
My
else, goodbye.
dream is to get a car, be able to stick everything in it, and run away. That's
Mm.
like that's my goal. I don't
it.
have a bed. I have every time female comedians joke about fuckboys with mattresses on the floor, I'm like, that's me.
Ah! Well, you don't have a bed?
I just have a mattress on a
Dude.
box spring.
I feel like I was paid by Amazon. $80 on Amazon. There's
Jesus
an
Christ.
amazing bed.
I don't want it. My room's small. My room's tiny. It's not
yeah,
even a real
But
room.
it's like it's like a metal frame. I'll show it to you. You'll like it. You'll want it.
That's freeing, though, I think, to just have that. It's just I've been in the same place for so long that I've accumulated so much shit.
Yeah.
And it is like, I am excited to just purge.
Get rid of it. It's annoying when it's like you convince yourself it's a keepsake. You're like, but this reminds me of this time. Like, take a fucking picture. It's fine.
Yeah,
Remind yourself
I
that
do
way.
that. I'll have like a box of like sentimental shit.
Mhm.
But I also, with like clothes and towels and stuff like that, it's hard for me to throw it away if I can still use it.
Yeah, me
And
too.
so that's why like all my jackets are fucking ripped up and shit. Like I don't know.
That's the style.
Yeah, it's not. It looks like fucking plastic. Anyways, but that's an issue that I have is that all I'll like keep it if I think if there's holes or it gets raggedy, I'll like still keep it. That's like I think the immigrant parent in me.
That's exactly what I think, because I have the same issue that I've gotten rid of a little bit, but is like, well, I could still use it for this, or like, well, if I go to a costume party,
Yeah.
which is frequent in my life, so I feel like that's a good excuse. We're like, oh, we're this at Burning Man.
You become a prop comic just to deal with the stuff.
Yes,
in your house.
exactly. This here. Side note: I was at a concert last night, and
Ooh, who?
Atish. It was a very like deep house, Burning Man kind of thing. But I was like dancing, and I turned my Fitbit on because I was like, I want to see how many calories I'm burning for like 4 hours. And then I turned to this girl in the crowd, and I was like, hey, do I have BO? And she's like, don't worry, I have deodorant. And just like gave me deodorant in the crowd. And I was like, cool, how do I apply this? It was a fun moment.
That's
It was
wild.
embarrassing, but it was fun.
It's like asking like somebody giving you a mint and you being like, no, it's like, and they're like, take it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I didn't, but she's like, just in case you're worried,
Yeah.
take this mini deodorant and apply it here in this crowd. And I was like, okay, sure. It's 2020,
Yeah.
almost.
I've done that in the cafe of UCB before.
Have you really?
I've let somebody like use my deodorant.
Oh, I love that.
You're a burner.
Oh, fuck yeah.
How many times have you gone to Burning Man?
Twice, and I will go every year the rest of my life if I can. I had to cancel this year though because I had a comedy tour in Palestine.
Oh
Yeah, but I was
so
like,
dope.
it was so funny because like I said, I started college touring this year, and so a bunch of the colleges booked me the week of Burning Man, and I was like, no, nothing will prevent me from going to Burning Man.
That's
so I lost
so
a lot of
funny.
money,
Oh my God.
and then didn't even end up going to fucking Burning Man, and I went to Palestine. It was like I think it was just before Burning
It's
Man.
a different desert, right?
You know. So.
I've been to Burning Man one time.
Oh, you did?
Yep, 2013.
Oh, I think we talked about this.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it again.
Okay.
How
I
was
went
it?
with my friend who's my roommate now, Davine, and we built a metal dome together. It was right after I had been in a car accident, so my back was still fucked up. So I was like, I'm going to take it easy. I did not take it easy.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And I like, my bike was my partner, and
Oh, I
like
love
we
it.
discovered all this. My favorite thing was like discovering all the art together. Because you go out into the far desert and like you go to the trash fence, right? And then you
Yeah.
like meet all these people. You see the sunrise. You meet all these people on the way.
Ugh.
There was this one like stone structure where you had to get like
I'm
a
getting
fuck ton of
goosebumps,
people to like
literally.
push it to get it to spin. Like it was a giant stone structure with all these like stones hanging off of it, and you had to like, in order for it to work as an art piece, you had to get a lot of people to push it. And we were waiting for people to come, and some people would come and then they'd leave, but it wasn't enough people. And then finally we all pushed it together, and it was like so beautiful. And then we all just disappered into the desert
Oh my God, I
and
love
like
that.
never met again.
I truly have goosebumps from just like you talking.
You do have goosebumps.
Yeah.
Wow.
Got hairy arms right now. I love Burning Man. I love everything it stands for.
I love it, but I also think that it is like a privilege that like people can go to, you know, because it's so
Yeah.
expensive.
It is expensive.
It's
But
expensive.
you can do it on the cheap.
The tickets are expensive, but then it's also expensive to like prep and like bring all the stuff in. And
Yeah, but you can do it on the cheap.
How
Like
mu-
I went my first year. The first
Sorry.
year I went alone, and it was like
it's more
awesome.
expensive. Oh, was it
It
cheaper?
wasn't. Well, that didn't really affect it. I mean,
Oh,
I
okay.
went with like you can find like. Did you go with a camp?
No, I went with one other person. We built our
You
own
camped. Oh God. Oh,
Yeah.
That's fun. You're much more outdoorsy
We,
than I
we
am.
built a metal dome, a 2-person metal dome,
Oh,
and then I
wow.
built an air conditioner out of solar panels and a bucket.
Okay, well, I didn't go with a fucking scientist to Burning Man. That's cool. Yeah, I needed a camp structure. It was
It
cool.
was, but we would like we made friends with the neighbors, and they had like a fucking one group had an RV that they cooked food for us in, and another one had like
Aw.
a shower that they'd built.
That's what I love. It's like everyone is so giving. Like that was the whole thing. People think Burning Man is like a barter system, and it's not. It's a
Yeah,
giving system.
The perception is skewed.
It's weird, yeah, but like everyone just gives, and that was the thing. It was like everyone is like they give you their time and their resources and their music and their food and their like positivity. It's just amazing.
I like the idea of like being prepared for yourself, like because they have all the
Radical
radical
self-reliance.
radical self-reliance. So they have like radical like whatever, you know. But there was a tent next to us. And it was these 2 Indian dudes, not a good reflection on our people. They just abandoned all their shit.
No.
And then all the rest of us had to clean it up. And it was really shitty because that's like exact opposite of what you're supposed to do at Burning Man. You're supposed to like clean everything up.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
leave.
a huge principle.
Yeah, it's huge. So then that's how I got my camel packs.
Nice,
But it
nice.
was just cool to see everybody else like take care of it, even if those guys like just came for
It's
like
such a
Instagram
community.
or whatever. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, but that bothered me. But that I really liked because I think is like a good way to be like responsible. Throw away your own garbage in general in life. You know, like be prepared for everything you need, and then if something goes wrong, you can ask for, it's out of your hands,
1,000,000%.
whatever.
That really
Or like
pisses me off at those guys at that.
It really upset me at
Because
the
like
time.
if you don't, for anyone listening, if you don't know about Burning Man, it's not a music festival. Like it's not Coachella where you just like show up. And believe me, like I'm all about the music festival life. But Burning Man is like, it's an experience.
Yeah,
like, it's a community. It's a civilization that's built in the desert. And I use the word civilization.
It's the fourth largest city in Nevada when it's like 100,000 people.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's Black Rock City. So it's a civilization. It's not there is music, there is drugs, but it's not necessarily.
There's also
about
AA meetings. Like there's anything.
There's
how
yoga. There's like there's everything there, and I think to me it's what my perception of it was more about like art and experience.
Yeah. To me, it's a choose your own adventure book.
Yeah.
Oh my God! If anyone starts talking to me about Burning Man at a party, I go on a rant. I'm like, let me tell you. Let me
how
change
I feel
your
about
perception.
Batman.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, but it's like an art festival. Like it's like there's a postal service. Like there's like hospitals. Like it's a true civilization in the middle of the desert.
One thing fucked me up. There were things called art cars.
Oh my God!
Where like they're like beautiful like giant parade float type things, but they can have like electronic like lights and stuff
or
on
DJs
them, or whatever. Like there was a giant fish one that was like gorgeous. It was insane. But there was one that was a police car. But it wasn't because there's police in Burning Man to like there are people there to like take care of stuff or whatever, and they're also burners. They're also people who attend the thing.
They're volunteers.
But it was an art car. It wasn't an actual police car, so it just scared the shit out of me
that's
every
so
time
funny.
it showed up.
That's amazing. I was writing. My friend had he worked in. I forget what the term is, but they help artists with like malfunctions. Like they'll come weld your stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
So
there's like a bike area where they can fix your bikes and stuff.
Yeah,
too.
well, those are specific camps.
Yeah.
But he was like part of like the Burning Man org. Like they gave him a free ticket and put him up and stuff. And he would just like drive an ambulance around.
Oh, I saw that too.
Yeah. But it's not a real ambulance.
Yeah,
it's like
for art.
It's for art.
Yeah.
So like we rode in it with him one time, and I was just like, I'm partying in an ambulance right now.
Yeah. One year, so my friend Devine, who I went with, one year we went together one year, and then we had this idea, and then he executed it the next year when I couldn't go. He would go out into the deep desert dressed as a pizza delivery guy, and he would deliver pizzas to whoever. They'd be like, "Did somebody order a pizza?" And somebody would be like, "I did," and then he'd just give them a pizza.
Oh, I love that.
And then he'd go back and
my God, I love it. It's so cool.
It's chaos. It's amazing.
It's chaos, but like everyone is so creative. Like that's what. It's such a exploration in like human creativity.
It's kind of like clowning, but for like a week.
Yeah. But I remember too, like there's like people are just giving. Like the people have like food stations set up, and like there was a diner in the middle of the desert. So like we were just biking around, and you see this like 50s style diner, and everyone's like in their like outfits, and they're like, "Come have pancakes," and you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
And then
in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, and like I was at some like sunrise thing, and someone drove a remote control car.
Oh shit! Did she hang up?
She got bored. She's like these burners.
Okay. Well, I was gonna bring it back to her.
Fizaa.
Bye, Fizaa.
Someone like drove a remote control car out with like a Red Bull on it to me, and I didn't even know who it was. There's like a remote control car just like drove up to me, and I was like, oh okay.
Wow.
I just like took the Red Bull, and then it drove away. I was like, this is amazing. It was. I love Burning Man so much.
Yeah, it was great. I don't know. I would go again. But I feel like it's just like I think now I'm like, you know what you should do? You should go again and then like do a comedy club there.
Oh, I did comedy.
You did?
Man. Oh yeah.
Where?
Oh, I should tell you my deeper Burning Man story. I went by myself. I'd been wanting to go for years, and it was always like, sometimes we'll go to things with my sister or whatever, but no one wanted to go. So I was like, you know what? I'm going. I'm figuring this out, and I think that was so cool because it was radical self-reliance. Like I had to figure everything out. I had to research everything myself, prepare. And I wasn't that prepared of a person before that, and now I feel like I am because I know how to organize an attack. But I went in with two intentions. One was to figure out if I actually believed in God, and two was to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. This was like Burning Man was August, and I had started stand up in June that year.
Oh shit!
And so I just like been doing a little bit of stand up, but yeah. So like I know those are really weird goals to go into a festival with, but I really wanted to like take time like this week with like no connectivity and like have the walls of society and everything just like disappear, and all like the pressure and the rules and the stipulations and the culture and everything just go away, and then figure out what I really believed in. So it was a very transformational experience for me in that way. I mean, I partied and I did other things too, but so yeah, I left believing that I do believe in God. Because
Oh,
I was like,
wow.
I mean, I talk about being Muslim in my stand-up, and so there was a part of me that was like, am I just identifying with this because it's the cards that were dealt to me, you know? Because, you know, we often tend to follow the religion of our parents or whatever is
Yeah.
culturally acceptable. So I do believe in God, and while I was there, I did stand-up. I did stand-up a couple times, and it was there that I was like, you know what, I do want to be a comedian. I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do now.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's cool.
It would be, if we ever went at the same time, it would be fun if we, like, created a comedy club.
Let's do it.
Like, in the middle of the desert.
Let's do it next year. I'm going.
I mean, I might. I don't know if I am. But if I am, I would totally do it with
Let's
you.
do it. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing is, like, you have to give, right? So, like, if you give comedy shows, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
your gift.
And people just, like, wander up.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
What gift did you bring last time?
I don't even remember what we did.
That means nothing.
Wow. Rude.
I don't remember.
I don't, but we did, like, because I remember, like, my roommate told me we had to, like, bring stuff. I forget what I feel like it was just, like, random items.
I brought, like, glow-in-the-dark rings.
Oh, okay.
Like flashing rings, because a lot of people forget to wear glow-in-the-dark stuff
Yeah.
at night, and it's very dangerous. So I was like, here, wear this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Definitely almost ate glow-in-the-dark stick. Like, one of those sticks broke, and it was in my mouth.
Oh, really?
At Burning Man, I was like, bleh!
Oh my God, I fucked up my elbow the first year. I, like, tripped on an unmarked, like, stoke in the ground.
Oh, God.
This was the last day, too. I tripped, and I, like, fell on my elbow.
no.
And I, like, sprained. For, like, 9 months, it was fucked up. It was
Oh,
horrible.
fuck.
And then they took me to, like, I got an x-ray in the middle of the desert.
Oh, wow.
For free.
And, like, like, the ambulance was actually a different car.
Yeah, they took me in a go-kart.
Yeah.
And I was like, help.
Oh, no.
It was miserable because I was like in a tent by myself and it was cold that night.
Oh, shit.
And then I had to have like an ice pack and I couldn't move my arm and I was like, but
Yeah, that's a downside.
you know what that meant? That meant I didn't have to drive on the way home. I was like, you guys drive. I'm injured.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So I just slept.
That's awesome. All right, I think we're wrapping up. Fizaa dropped out. I guess she wasn't interested in the Burning Man talk. I will check in with her later. Is there any last words that you would like to say?
I just want to thank my mom.
Mrs. Edan?
Miss Edan, yeah. No, this was fun. I really love what you guys are doing. I was thinking about that on the way over here. Like facial recognition is such a known entity, and I like what you guys stand for. So good for you guys.
Thank you. And thank
Yeah.
you for being a part of it.
Of course. Also, love your hair.
Oh, my God.
Also,
I
let's
love
go to
your
Burning Man next year.
Okay. Bye. Oh, wait. We should plug everything.
Oh,
I
yeah.
forgot. Okay. What's your socials?
So everything is Reem Edan, ReemEdan, on the Instagrams and the Twitters. I'm not a Twitter person.
I love Twitter. It's psychotic, though.
You seem like someone who likes Twitter.
It's not good for you. I'm Pallavi Gunalan, PALLAVIGUNALAN. That's on everything. Fizaa is Fizaa Dasani, FIZAADOSANI. And Zara is really Zara, ZAHRA. Thank you. And we're Facial Recognition Comedy. Our next show is, I believe, January 12th, the second Sunday of the month. Yes, January 12th. 9 p.m. Westside Comedy Theater. And then we are going to be at Sketchfest on the 24th, SF Sketchfest, Cafe de Nord in San Francisco, the 24th of January at 8 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. 2 different lineups. We're super excited.
It's exciting. Maybe I'll come out to see you guys.
Oh, that'd be fun. You going to be up there?
No, but maybe.
Oh.
I don't know. I travel a lot. I don't know.
Hell yeah. All right, cool. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.